Welcome back again today, good friends, as we time travel. Oh yes, we are. Did you know that we are embarking on a massive freezer cooking time travel event? We're actually not just cooking 40 freezer meals. We're cooking probably closer to 400 freezer meals, and we're taking our Mega Mama time travel portal all the way back to over a decade ago to my 1915 farmhouse kitchen as I prepare over 25 slow cooker freezer meals while postpartum with baby number 7. These freezer meals are low carb, sugar free, and trim healthy mama friendly. They can also be easily adapted to be gluten free and dairy free as well. Then we take our freezer cooking time travel portal to my next house, the Forest House, where we make hundreds of large family freezer meals as I freezer meal prep to fill my freezers before baby number 8. I hope these massive freezer meals inspire you as you fill your freezer with massive freezer meals before baby, before surgery, sports seasons, vacations, other major life events, and my favorite, just regular old everyday life. We could really use some massive freezer meals up in here. The recipes for all of these homemade freezer meals are linked in the description below. Be sure to chat with me in the comments. Today we're talking, of course, about freezer meals and time travel. Yay! Saturday adventure, I am trying something that my friend Crystal Payne has written a lot about. She has shared often about how in her family they make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and then they freeze them. And I thought that would be perfect for us because with 6 kids who actively eat PB&Js, but if we could have a stash of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the freezer, then the night before, we could just take some out, put them in the fridge, and the idea is they'll defrost. And so by morning, there will be a stack of already made PB&Js in the fridge. And I know if I am not quick enough in the morning with getting breakfast on, I do have children who will make themselves a PB&J, or if we need snacks throughout the day. It's always PB&J to the rescue. So that is what I'm going to work on today. We'll see how many I can make and how many I can get in the freezer. So it is as simple as making a peanut butter and jelly, putting it in a baggie. We're going to stack them up in the freezer, and I will report back here shortly with how many I got made. I don't really think I'm going to use all of this jelly or even all of this peanut butter. I had, as happens, I had 3 things of jelly opened in the fridge. So I thought I could use those up first. So we made about 50 PB&Js. That is what is left after the kids have had PB&J this Saturday afternoon. And I'm going to stick these all in our freezer. My plan is, in theory, is that in the evenings, depending on what we have going on the next day, I'll put a stack of these or have one of the kids put a stack into one of our extra refrigerators, and then in the morning, we will have a stack of PB&Js ready to go. That way, if homeschool runs a little long, or if we need an extra snack, or whatever would happen in life, I know that there is a stack of PB&Js that the kids can access quickly, which helps me, helps everybody. Go team, go. Okay, here we are. We have our kitchen table loaded with lots of meat and some veggies and freezer cooking supplies. And I am attempting to do 25 meals for the next approximate 5 weeks for my slow cooker. I use the slow cooker a lot, but I would love to be able to open my freezer and have 5 weeks worth of meals just ready to go. That would be wonderful. And I do Trim Healthy Mama, which has some lower carb elements to it, especially for the S meals. So I am doing 5 weeks of meals, and I'll be popping in and out with this video to show you how we're coming along, also exactly what those meals are. And in our slow cooker right now, we have our meatball lasagna going. Okay, so we are not even quite to the middle of our first official slow cooker freezer meal day. And right now I am labeling bags like a wild woman. I just bought us a new 8-quart crock pot And the way that my math is working in my head is for each meal that I do, I need 2 1-gallon bags of that meal for 1 dinner in the crock pot. What I did, since this is the first time I've done this for the freezer first and then the crock pot, is I went through online and I found 10 meals that I felt I could easily adapt for our family, and even if they weren't promoted as slow cooker meals, I felt I could make them into slow cooker meals easily. So I found those 10 meals, and then I've got enough supplies to make each of those 10 meals twice. So that's 20 meals. Looking at the calendar, I realized I needed to make enough meals until my next once-a-month grocery shopping day, which we've been doing that for years. And there's 1 full week left in January, and then I have 4 full weeks in February. So really, I needed enough freezer meals for the slow cooker for 5 weeks. So my mad scientist plan is I picked out my 10 meals. I'm doubling those, so we'll have those 2 times throughout the month. That's 20 meals. And then I had enough in my freezers already poking around for 2 additional recipes that I'm going to double, so that'll be 24 meals. And then I'm hoping I can squeeze out a 25th meal with what I have left over after all of this. I'll let you know. By doing it that way, we will have slow cooker meals for 5 nights a week, 5 times out of 7. And then we will have 1 breakfast for dinner night every week, and we will have 1 leftover night. We're going to do the breakfast for dinner nights on Wednesdays now, and Wednesday is a day that I've been working on an extra project for work lately. And then Saturday is my other day when I have a long work day, and I thought that would be a great leftover night, and heaven help us if we don't have a leftover, the kids can make some sandwiches that night. They'll be okay. So this is how far we've gotten. Let me tell you a little bit about what is on this table. We have, I believe this is 30 pounds of chicken. Let me double check that. Yes, we have 30 pounds of chicken. We have some sweet Italian sausage. I have about how many pounds? Show me the pounds. Probably about 8 pounds of beef tips. I have a large pork sirloin here to be cut up. Yeah. We have a ham. We have a bag of meatballs. My other bag of meatballs I use. Oh yes, the other bag of meatballs I use. I have a recipe for meatball lasagna that I've adapted. We're having that tonight. And, you'll see all kinds of other odds and ends. Pepperonis, cheese, lots of broccoli. We're doing probably 8 of the meals or so. We're all going to have broccoli, and that's a family favorite. These are just bell peppers. Another thing we did is we kind of slowly prepared this morning. I've dragged the meat out. We've gotten other supplies out. I've gone over my recipes. Thought, okay, the 2-year-old, she can go down for her nap, and that way we can really work on getting these bags filled. So my goal is, before she gets up with her nap today, that we will have 25 meals bagged and ready to go. And again, my plan is I'm going to take 2 of these out, set them in the refrigerator the night before from the freezer, and then in the morning I'm going to dump them in the crock pot for the day, and we'll have dinner that night. I've been doing Trim Healthy Mama for about a year, lost 30 pounds so far, and had a baby. So all of the meals are low carb and Trim Healthy Mama inspired, even if they're not from the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook. They should all count as S meals. Now, some of the kids, of course, need more carbs. So several of the meals I have planned that they're going to have it over brown rice or brown rice on the side. We also have large baked potatoes they can have. When I do things like the meatball lasagna, I'm just going to do some whole wheat noodles, and they can have that on top of the noodles. What else? I have some quinoa that I can have as a side with my meals if they're not. Some of the meals like the sausage and the peppers, I can have that with quinoa on the side, and that would be an e-meal for those who are doing Trim Healthy Mama. So that's it. We will continue to video throughout our mess. Another thing I picked up at Sharp Shopper that was a really good deal is they had, I showed this in one of my other videos, these different hams for 99 cents or $1.19 a package. So I've seen recipes, a lot on Pinterest. So there's these recipes where you take some ham, put it in a muffin tin, crack an egg on it. You can scramble the egg, have a whole egg, you can throw in some different veggies, but you're making egg cups. So this is high protein. You got the protein from the meat, you got the protein for the egg, you could sprinkle a little cheese on there, you could just do whatever you want. And I'm going to make a bunch of these in muffin tins, never made them before, and I'm gonna freeze them. And hopefully it works out that they'll be quick little easy snacks for me or quick breakfast for me. This is a little trim healthy mama thing I'm doing. Just trying to make it another easy freezer option for when life gets very loud and busy as it does at various points during the day. So what I'm working right now is those egg protein cups. And I have my pack of meat, and what I'm doing is I'm going through my muffin tins with about 2 pieces from my meat. I'm putting 2 pieces down in my muffin tins, then I'm going to do my egg mixture. I think I've decided to scramble my eggs, that way I could put some mushrooms and some green peppers and more of an omelet feel. I like to have a pretend omelet in the mornings, and I also cut up some Baby Bell cheese for in it. That's always good. So I'm going to do that with these little egg cups, and from what I've read from various people online, they turn out fabulous when you reheat them. I'm gonna try it out, kind of give it the recipe my own flair, and I'll let you know how it goes. Because if a busy mama can have a healthy egg protein cup in the freezer that can just be heated up quickly, I know that would come in handy in my world and possibly in your world too. So I'm working on my egg mixture. I've got about 2 dozen eggs in here. I figure an egg per cup, plus I'm gonna add in those veggies, should be pretty good. So here's a look at my eggs. I've already started to fill 1 muffin tin. Already started to fill 1 muffin tin. You see here, the view looking down. I put in some mushrooms, avocado, and green peppers that were left over, and I did go ahead and sprinkle in some crunched up Baby Bell cheese. So these are looking pretty good. I think they're gonna work out great. So you'll see the rocket science I'm using to do this. I'm taking my egg mixture and pouring it into the tin. Isn't this the smartest thing ever? I am so glad I've taken the time to make these today. Not that I'm so smart, I have just seen this recipe floating around in a lot of different configurations. And I thought, oh, this is definitely something on my freezer meal day list. I have my oven heated to about 400. Then I'm gonna cook these protein cups at about 400 for 15 minutes. And then after they cool, I'm gonna put two each in a Ziploc bag, because for me, they'll make a perfect breakfast or snack when I need something like that. And even if you're not doing Trim Healthy Mama, if you're just a mom looking for ways to take better care of yourself and have something healthy for yourself. I know everyone may not agree with this deli meat that I'm using, and I'm not going to split hairs over that. However, protein is so good. Meat and cheese and eggs. So any configuration you feel comfortable with, this would be a great energy producing snack for a busy mom in the middle of a busy day. So here is a peek at the giant stack of peanut butter sandwiches. We're gonna count those so I know how many we went through. I think it was 7 loaves of bread, and then stack them in our back refrigerator. And then here is a peek at the protein cups that I made. They cooked up nicely. I'm gonna let these cool a bit and then get them in freezer bags and get them ready to go into the freezer. So here's a quick peek at our back freezer. We ended up with 65 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So these will be great snacks to just take out of the fridge. Who knows what's gonna happen during the next month. Heaven forbid I would be down for a day or 2 with my neck, or I don't know, we go on a day trip or whatever. We have a base to pull from for these quick and easy freezer peanut butter and jellies. People often ask me if they get soggy. We haven't had a soggy PB&J yet. It's worked out great. And look, extra turkey from Thanksgiving. I guess I need to go ahead and put that on this month's meal plan. Here's what the protein cups look like. They came out of the oven. And this is what they look like when they come out. How cute is that? They've been popping out of here pretty easily. I'll show you what this looks like. Look. So I've just been popping 2 at a time in a little baggie. And I'm going to line them up in my back freezer. Here are my protein cups. I've got them in little bags of 2. See, and I'm going to put these in the freezer, and they hopefully will turn out as a nice snack for Mama here. I was going to show you guys how I do this slow cooker meatloaf. What I have is 5.85 pounds of ground beef, so you might as well say 6 pounds. And I use old-fashioned oatmeal, eggs, and then I stuff in whatever additional veggies I have. I chop them all up and they go into the meatloaf. So this meatloaf can change depending on the type of vegetables that I have on hand. I just try to jam everything in there. So here's a look at what I have. Here's my meat and the weight. I'm just going to go ahead and say that it is 6 pounds because we're so close. So I have 6 eggs. What I do is I use 1 egg per pound of meat, and I use 1 cup of old-fashioned oats per pound of meat. So that means we're going to have 6 cups of old-fashioned oats. We're going to have 6 eggs. Again, jam in all the veggies, and I'm also going to throw in a couple tablespoons of milled flax because, hey, I have it. It's a good way to get that into everybody. And then I'm going to put it in the slow cooker for about 4 hours on high, and we'll have it for dinner. Put in our 6 eggs. Probably fast forward these parts too. And pour in our veggies. And now I'm going to also do the old-fashioned oatmeal. Okay, there's 4 cups, and then we're going to do 2 more because it's just a hair shy of 6 pounds of ground beef. And for extra fun, I'm going to add in 1/4 of a cup of milled flax, which no one will know, but it's good for everyone. And now the fun part, the messy part, is mixing it all together. I thought my bowl was big enough. We'll see. So I have my meatloaf here. I've got probably close to 3 pounds of meat here, and the meat that's left, I'm going to shape that, put that in a freezer bag, and that'll be a veggie meatloaf for another busy day. This is my veggie meatloaf for tonight. We will also do brown rice and broccoli with it. Now, of course, it's going to lose its shape when I put it in, and that's okay. I can mess with it once I get it in there. And yes, the veggies pop out. I just squeeze them in there.
Just getting it all.
Okay. So, right now, of course, it looks like a science project gone wrong. And I didn't really use a lot of spices with this one. Usually I'll put in salt, pepper, garlic powder, parsley. Honestly, I just didn't have that handy down here when I was making this, and you know how it is as a busy mom. I'm like, okay, I will just sprinkle a little salt and pepper on it tonight when I serve it. And that's as far as it's gonna get. It's gonna have a lot of good flavor on its own. So, and I think this is the science behind my cooking, ladies. I think I'm actually gonna put just a little bit more meat on there. There, that's probably 3 pounds or maybe a little more. This is an 8-quart slow cooker. Okay, so. I already have my slow cooker on high. I'm gonna put the lid on there. Voila, dinner is done almost. I'm gonna do the rice this afternoon, do the broccoli before we eat, and then we'll have another meatloaf for another day for the freezer. So here is how the meatloaf turned out. Hey guys, so I am back today with a peek at our huge freezer cooking day. I really only started this about 30 minutes ago. And again, on paper, I figured, oh, I would start freezer cooking in the morning and I'll cook till dinner time and we'll just go, go, go. Well, here it is almost 3 and I'm barely getting going. So hopefully I can get a couple hours in. I'm gonna go over my plan with you guys. You can see what we're doing, and this may end up being a couple different days, like I said, of us doing different meals and getting set up for the month. But when we're done, it's gonna help me in managing our meals and our meal plan for the next 4 to maybe even 5 weeks, depending on how all this food works out. So here's a look at my master plan for today, okay? So again, here's the meal plan. Roughly, this is my whole whiteboard to organize this freezer cooking time. Again, since it's been a bit since I've done freezer cooking and tried to get everything prepped at the beginning of the month, I'm sticking with very simple recipes. I think only 1 or 2 of these I'll need to do a video for YouTube just to share with you guys. So we're gonna do meatloaf twice. We're gonna do chicken, broccoli, and rice casserole twice. I'm gonna do the stir-fry fried rice. We're gonna do beans and cornbread, chili and cornbread. We're gonna have tacos every week, so that's why that says ×4. We'll do spaghetti twice. I'm sure we will have a leftover night once a week. That's just how it works out. We're gonna do breakfast for dinner once a week, and we're gonna do homemade pizza once a week. I'm also gonna do an easy beef stroganoff twice, and then we have a pork roast and red potatoes twice. With this meal, I know with the size of the pork roast I have, it'll actually be enough for us to just have it 2 days in a row. And that's our dinners for this month. Also, breakfast-wise, we're gonna rotate pancakes, French toast, muffins, banana bread, oatmeal, and then eggs and bacon twice a week. So with this freezer cooking attempt, what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna get all the major meat cooked. So here's my goals over here. Cook ground beef for the month, do muffins, breads, breakfast items, sandwiches, and burritos. So what I like to do is have beef, bean, and cheese burritos in the freezer. Again, it's been a while since I've been stocked up on those, but whenever I have them, we definitely use them just for different pinches. You know, it's better than opening a box of macaroni and cheese, so we'll have those burritos. And so we're also doing easy lunch items. A lot of times we rely on dinner leftovers for lunch. But, you know, field trips happens, other outings, sometimes we like to pack a picnic and take it in the forest. So we're gonna do, hopefully, yes, growling, hopefully at least 100 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the freezer, and I would love to get close to that same amount of meat and cheese sandwiches for the freezer. I mean, worst case scenario, we don't get to it and we have extra for the freezer. And we're doing, as I mentioned, ton of muffins. I'm doing blueberry muffins, applesauce muffins, and banana muffins. I'm also gonna do more banana bread. What else? Oh, and a whole lot of cornbread, because with the beans and with the chili and some other meals, it'll be nice to have cornbread muffins and those kind of things. And I guess that's it. So this is what we're going into. Again, recipe links, any other questions, more details on these freezer cooking days in the description below. And as I can hopefully get back to doing this every month, I'll get better at it and I'll get quicker and I'll get more organized. So thanks for sticking around and seeing how this goes. Now, real quick, what I have going on right now is I'm cooking ahead. This is about 4.5 pounds of ground beef with some onions and oregano and onion powder, garlic powder. And this, I'm cooking ahead my meat for my spaghetti sauces for the month. I have some other meat that's sitting out. I'm gonna do several pounds for all those taco nights, and then having chili, and then also for the burritos. So I'm gonna make all that meat similar. I can't do my math quite yet on how many pounds of ground beef, but I'll let you know. I did my math on it last night when I went shopping. So for those days, like on the day that I do chili, I'll get a bag of the chili meat out, I'll dump that in a slow cooker, and then I'll add my different beans and additional spices for the day and let that simmer. Same thing with the tacos. I'm not gonna add all the refried beans and corn and other things I add today, but on the day that I do my cooking, I don't have to mess with the mess of cooking meat. Also, what I have going on now, we are actually going to have beans and cornbread and corn on the cob and strawberries and Cool Whip for our 4th of July dinner tonight. So that's the beans simmering for the day. And I have 2 loaves of banana bread going. And while I'm waiting for this meat to finish, I'm going to start probably our cornbread muffin production line, because we'd like to have cornbread with dinner tonight anyway. And I'll just get a bunch of that batter mixed up and we'll start making a bunch of cornbread. Now, when you freeze muffins or cornbread muffins, any kind of muffin, I just like to put 12 to 14, however many I can fit in a freezer bag, and we just stack them in the freezer. And then let's say tomorrow we want blueberry muffins for breakfast. Well, all I need to do tonight then would be to pull out a pack of blueberry muffins, set them on the counter, then when we get up in the morning, hey, homemade blueberry muffins for breakfast. You can always add fruit or yogurt to that. Any way you want to do it, it just makes it so convenient for me. So this spaghetti sauce meat looks done to me. I'm gonna put it in a metal bowl so it can cool a bit before I then start to bag different things and get them in the freezer. I'm gonna just set this in a metal bowl and then get some more ground beef going over here for other meals. I have over here, this is the meat for the different spaghetti sauces that's cooling, that's almost ready for a freezer bag. And in here I have my next round of ground beef going. The banana bread should be done soon. I also went ahead and I got about 8.5, 9 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast in the slow cooker. That's gonna be for when I do chicken broccoli cheese casserole for the upcoming weeks. I think I only needed to do 4.5 pounds of chicken breast to make that recipe twice. So I guess I'm gonna do it 4 times, and again, we'll just have extra for the freezer. So that's how this goes on these freezer cooking days. Sometimes I make a little more or not enough. So this meat that is almost done now, I just threw a bunch of onions in it. I'm gonna call this meat chili meat. And this will get in the freezer, so then on chili days, I can just pull the beef already out and get going with the chili. Also, for an update, we've got cornbread going on in here. And I'll just open it for you guys. So we've got a bunch of cornbread muffins and a whole pan of cornbread to go with dinner tonight. Whole stack of pancakes that has been cooked, and they are about cooled off. So I am simply writing pancakes on here. I'm just gonna do 7/16 because it's July when I'm filming this, but believe me, we're gonna eat these pancakes here in the next few weeks. So it is as easy as I'm putting these yummy stacks of pancakes in this bag, and this will be a breakfast for us. So here's 1 pack of pancakes down. This will be a nice breakfast for us. So now what I've done is this is about 2 pounds of the cooked spaghetti meat, and again I just put 7/16 on there. And this will be for 2 separate spaghetti sauces that we have during the month. Now, honestly, a lot of times I do 3 to 4 pounds of meat in one big batch of spaghetti sauce. However, this month I was just working with dividing my meat pounds down and trying to get as many meals as I possibly could out of this grocery shopping haul. And so cutting back on some meat in some recipes and increasing it in others. This is just my tub where I'm going to carry it out to some of the freezers here in a minute. And then over here, I've got this, let's see where my spatula go. This chili meat that has been cooking. I'm getting ready to put this into my cooling off greasy bowl, and I'll get probably the taco meat going next. So today is all about doing as much meal prep and helps for me for all these meals for the month. And one thing that you quickly find on a freezer cooking day is you have to take little breaks to kind of clean up around things and just handle the mess. It's nice because a lot of the big mess is then done, like all the messy meat grease and such. So I am just wiping up some crumbs here. Are cooking earlier. So we are just going Gonna make some more cornbread. I'm thinking I should be able to get another 2 or 3 dozen. Might add a little bit more milk to this because it looks like it's thickening up. Just want to show you guys a bread machine fail. Usually when I put the banana bread in here, once it gets mixing, I'll do the spatula around the sides. And if you don't, this is what happens. Look at that. A perfect loaf of banana bread. Basically, yeah, it's all ruined. I don't think it's salvageable. I'll cut it open and see if we can get something out of the middle maybe, but so sad. This is my bread machine fail for today. Good thing I've got 12 more loaves to make. And these cornbread muffins are cooled off, so we're gonna get these bagged up for the freezer now. Showing you how this banana bread worked out. I ended up, there's the edges again that are just too much flour to work with, but this was the inside of the banana bread. So it's cut kind of oddly, but it's still banana chocolate chip bread, and I am sure I still have some people in this house that will eat this tonight. At least the inside of that banana bread was good. I've already given that out to most of the kids. This next how many pounds is that? Next 4 pounds of ground beef is just about done. I'm just gonna put that in freezer bags when it cools off and just label it ground beef because I'm getting tired now. It's almost 6, so we've only been freezer cooking for about 2.5 hours. So far though, we've gotten done a whole pan of cornbread and 4 dozen cornbread muffins, about 5 of the gallon bags full of pancakes. Trying to see what else we have. Did a bazillion PB&Js, working on a bazillion ham and cheese sandwiches. As far as our dinner tonight, our beans are done. We're waiting on the corn because we're having corn on the cob. So now, since I just had that little sad bread machine event, I think I'm gonna do a blueberry bread. Kind of like a blueberry muffin, only in a bread machine pan. We'll make a couple of those and see how that goes. So second thought, I went ahead and did several blueberry oatmeal muffins, and I've got a muffin pan too. You just, with freezer cooking, you have to kind of go with whatever you're inspired to do at the moment, and that's how you get a bunch done. So guys, it's about 10 minutes after 7, so we have been at this now for 4 solid hours. We got done even more than I thought we were gonna get done. We're starting the process now of cleanup. Of course, today is a holiday when I'm filming this, so we're gonna actually take some of these blueberry muffins and get in the car here shortly and head over to see the fireworks. That's just how it all worked out at the end of the time. So what I've done is I've got my last 4 pounds of that. It was probably about 27 pounds of ground beef. Last 4 pounds are in the cast iron skillet now, getting that cooked up. I did 3 dozen of these blueberry and oatmeal muffins, and I'll show you how these turn out. These are really yummy. Hopefully that shows up well in the video, but they look a little crumbly, but this top part is the best. And so what I just got done doing also is I've got 2.5 pounds of ground beef meatloafs for the slow cooker that I'm getting ready to put in the freezer. They're all mixed up. All the ingredients are already in them. So those will go in the freezer. So that's 2 dinners that are done. I'm gonna get these blueberry muffins in the freezer, finish up this ground beef, and yes, the big thing of beans that I did for today, and even the big thing on corn on the cob, we have been eating this whole time that we've been cooking, and all of us just looked at one another and like, we're not hungry. So again, we're gonna take the blueberry muffins with us, and I guess we got big dinner already cooked for tomorrow. I'll just heat it up then and we'll have it then. Here's the blueberry muffins. I'm getting these in bags. Those are the meatloafs. And also I wanted to give you a quick overview of the mess as it stacks up from the day. Some mess is going on over here, but again, we're wrapping it up. That's my little oatmeal blueberry loaf that I'm going to take out and put in a bag for a breakfast too. Of course, sharing the real life here. Just wanted to share this pancake mess as we're cleaning up. We got about 10 minutes and then we need to get out the door to see those fireworks. You see the long line of dishes, so what I'm hoping is to get a load of dishes going while we're gone, and then when we get back, of course, unload that and get the other load of dishes before we go to bed. And then we'll be cleaned up from today's 4-hour cooking session. I'm hoping tomorrow to do another 4-hour cooking session, and then I think we're gonna be done. I have not run through all the numbers yet. I'll do that while we're driving, but I'm pretty sure we got half of my freezer cooking goals for this month done this afternoon from 3 to 7. That's pretty exciting. Of course, the cleanup takes almost another hour, but We're getting there. Good morning, guys. What we are doing, it is going to be day 2 of me having some freezer cooking time. I am still working on dishes. We've got breakfast dishes now from this morning, and we had some leftover things from the freezer cooking time yesterday. So I am getting this dishwasher going. What I'm working on now, I still don't have the towel off of my head, but we are going to do a large batch of oatmeal applesauce muffins, or you could call them oatmeal apple cinnamon muffins. But basically there's oatmeal in it and there's cinnamon applesauce. Tons of ways you can doctor it up and do it differently, different flours you can use. For this batch, I'm going to do some of them with, the first large batch I'm going to do with whole wheat flour, and then I'm going to probably do some batches with some all-purpose flour, and we'll just see how it goes from here. So the first thing I'm going to do is add in 4 cups of milk. We're adding in 3 cups of cinnamon applesauce, 1 cup of oil, a cup of brown sugar, a cup of white sugar, substitute it for any kind you like. Shake in a bunch of extra cinnamon. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I did 6 eggs. We got 4 cups whole wheat flour, 2 cups of quick oats. So I'm balancing this on a kitchen stool. We have mixed this up by hand, and now I am filling muffin cups. It is a little drippy. It's okay. Drippy happens. Real life drippy.
Real baby drippy.
Real baby drippy, real life oatmeal apple muffin drippiness. So now I got those muffins in the oven, wiping off the counter again. Yesterday I got the ground beef cooked, and I got all the refried beans mixed in, so we can do a bunch of freezer burritos today. We're gonna get on these burritos. Okay, let's get our workstation set up. Oh, and I'll give you guys a quick peek at the muffins. Excuse me, sweetie. Right there. So here's a little look at our assembly line, and so you can see he is putting down our meat and bean mixture that I got ready yesterday. Not really a perfect science to this. We just put our mixture in, and then we get a little sprinkle of cheese. Sprinkle it on there. Okay. I will have to fold these. I'll show you guys what it looks like folded in a minute. So we have 20 done so far. Here's 1 stack. We're overflowing here. We're gonna make 100, and then I'm gonna wrap them in foil. I'm gonna get them in 1-gallon freezer bags. You don't have to roll them in foil. It's probably not necessary. It's just how I have always made these. So we wrap them in foil, store them in a gallon bag, and then whenever we do need them for a quick meal, it's easy to just fill a baking sheet with the burritos and have at it from there. So I got 3 dozen of the oatmeal apple cinnamon muffins out. Right now I'm refilling my muffin cups. Gonna get this batch in the oven and go back to making burritos. I think I'm about 50 burritos in and have about 50 burritos left. And after that, next big thing I'm hoping to tackle today is to get a bunch of French toast for the freezer made, because French toast is something that, again, is just really easy if you can prep it ahead. It's a really easy reheat in the morning. I know this morning we had a bag of pancakes waiting for us in the refrigerator this morning, and I was able to heat up some pancakes for everybody. And that's what we're just working on right now. I might also be able to get a different variety of muffins going. I'm just doing, everyone likes apple cinnamon, so doing a bunch of these. So what the update on the burrito apocalypse is that I ran out officially of my beef and bean mixture that I prepared yesterday, and you can see I still have a nice big stack of burritos to go. I don't even know how many are left because I've taken them all out of the pack. So what I did is I just opened 2 more cans of refried beans, and these are just going to be bean and cheese burritos, and I'm slathering on the beans onto every tortilla, and I'll do a little more than that, and then I'm losing my burrito there. And then I'm going to sprinkle on cheese keep on wrapping them up, and I'll show you what we have so far that's done with our freezer cooking today. So far I've got 5 of these packs of burritos, and then I have 4 dozen of the apple cinnamon oatmeal muffins, and then here in the oven I've got 3 more dozen that are going. I'm hoping to get some more blueberry muffins done today. When he's done, he'll be like 4 or 5 loaves worth of French toast. 4 or 5 loaves. So then we're gonna work on cleanup and call this a day. Now guys, Miss Wild Hair Don't Care here is mixing up a whole bunch of batter for more blueberry muffins. And here's our growing stack. And here's my slow mixing of the blueberry muffins. So we are really just getting started. We're a couple hours in, but we've been going pretty gentle for a large family style freezer cooking day. I've got my list of everything we're attempting to tackle. I got a new freezer last week, and I am all inspired to get a wonderful stockpile of freezer meals for my family for days when I can't think, when I don't want to cook. For when we have the new baby, it'll just help at home. What I'm doing is a bazillion meals today. Now out of these meals, like for example, I'm hoping to do 4 to 5 pans of lasagna. We'll probably eat 2 pans or so of that this month. The other pans are just gonna be to have in the freezer for when we need them. I'm gonna show you my plan. Things very well may not go as I plan. I may only get half of this done. This freezer cooking day may become 2 days. So let me show you what's happening here. Okay, so here's what I wrote out this morning to help keep my brain straight. I'm hoping to do about 5 meatloaves for the freezer, tuna noodle casseroles, baked ziti, lasagna, taco meat, chicken, broccoli, and rice bake, chicken enchiladas, fried rice. I'm also hoping to have leftover hamburger, just have pre-cooked and ready for spaghetti sauces and chili. I'm also hoping I have some chicken breast left that I'll just freeze as pre-cooked shredded chicken. That is so convenient for, you know, soups and other recipes and chicken Alfredo or whatever else it is I may want to cook. If my meat's cooked, it's just one less thing. I do love my slow cooker. I'll show you what we got going on over here. But while I'm cooking today, I might as well get those things done. Then I hope to do over 100 peanut butter and jellies for the freezer, over 100 grilled cheeses. This is going to be as simple as 2 slices of bread, 2 slices of cheese, and then, you know, on a day when we want to do grilled cheese, we can just pull them out and I can grill them frozen. It'll be perfect. I hope to do several loaves of blueberry bread, applesauce bread, and banana bread. I also hope to do a whole big stash of egg and cheese breakfast burritos, French toast, and even some egg casserole. It's a big team effort, and like I say, so far it's 2:15. As I've gotten ready through the day and as our day has gotten moving, I've just been working on basic prep stuff here and there. So I've gotten about 10 pounds of brown rice cooked. I've got a big pot of pinto beans that have been going all morning. I've been doing, total I've had about 25 to 30 pounds of ground beef. So with the ground beef, what I've been doing is a lot of times when I do freezer cooking in the past and in my prior freezer cooking videos, I do my ground beef on the stove top. But I thought today, since I was doing so much, why not just do it in the oven? So that's what I've been doing. This ground beef I just pulled out, and so I have some more pounds of ground beef in there now. I'm going to pull out. That's going to be, again, for the lasagna and burritos and baked ziti and all kinds of stuff going on. In the Instant Pot right now, I have about 10 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. I just used my poultry button, and the Instant Pot adjusts to the weight of that. This is my 8-quart Instant Pot. These bananas, I know they look gross, but they weren't already frozen. These were just bananas slowly dying on the counter. So what I do when I need to do banana bread is I just put them through the microwave for a little bit. So that's going to be, you're going to get the bread machines going here soon. This is just a bowl of grease from Hamburger. This is all my rice. We've got some bread, more bread over here. Here's my baking pans, some brown sugar. Now this meat hasn't actually been out too long, so I'm fine with it sitting out, but I'm going to work on defrosting it through the microwave between cooking it in the Instant Pot and who knows what else I'm gonna do. We're gonna get this processed. I've got some Italian dressing sitting out on the counter. I'm gonna do some bags of Italian chicken for the slow cooker. Again, that'll be easy for even my family. They can set one of those out, dump them in the slow cooker. I got a bunch of tuna for the tuna noodle casseroles and more things in the pantry and such, but this is how the kitchen is looking at the moment, and I'll give you another update soon. I've gotten a lot of questions already today on Instagram and Facebook where I shared my pictures of what I was doing. Lots of people have asked me about doing ground beef in the oven, so I'll show you. This is each close to 5 pounds each pan, and I feel like my oven temperature is a little wonky. This was frozen to start. I cooked it on 400 for probably closer to 45 minutes or so, and I took it out one other time and just kind of chunked it up. So now I'm gonna chunk it up some more with my spatula. That's my technical term. I'm gonna drain it, and we're gonna work on processing it from there. So here's about 15 pounds of cooked ground beef. I did it all in the oven. And like I just mentioned, it'll go in different recipes. Okay, so updating you guys on what's going on here. I just got the meatloafs done. I went ahead, I did 4. And what else have I gotten done? I feel like not a lot. The banana bread is in progress. And the grilled cheese are done. Currently working on the peanut butter and jellies, and I'm going to clear my oven area now, and I'm going to get doing the eggs, and then he's going to do the egg and cheese burritos. So I guess I'm going to circle things that are in progress here. I'll circle that. And the next thing I'm going to do, I've just been thinking how, my next steps. So I've got everything ready. I can do enchiladas. And then after that, I have everything I need to also do taco meat. And then after that, I need to work on, let's see, after that, I can do chicken broccoli rice, because I've got my chicken done and I've got rice done. So after that, I need to do the noodles I need to do noodles for tuna noodle casserole, I need to do the Ziti noodles, and I need to do lasagna noodles. And then once the noodles are done, I can put those meals together. I may or may not get to fried rice today. I'm looking at that and I'm just not feeling it. And then I've got all my ground beef cooked and everything. So let's see, I'm going to circle the French toast. My bread machine's just beat for the bread, so I can get another loaf of banana bread going, and then I'll probably start working on some blueberry bread. So I think we're going to do it. I got no thoughts on the egg casserole right now, and you can tell my voice is tired, but we're doing a lot. I wanted to show you guys what I'm working on right now with the chicken enchiladas. I've got 5 pounds of shredded, boneless, skinless chicken breast. I did this in the Instant Pot today. I've got about a cup of chopped green onion and a few yellow onion. I've got 4 cups of cooked brown rice, 4 cups of beans. I need to add in now, I'm going to do about 6 cups of shredded cheese. I have let's see here, a Fiesta cheese blend. And then these are, this is enchilada sauce. The cans are on the larger size. So I'm thinking 3 of these is going to be more than enough, but I will of course go by my eyeballing score, see how many we really need here in a minute. What I ended up going with, since again these are bigger cans, I just used 2 of these cans since they are 28 ounces. So you'll just have to adjust the ounces. Some, this comes in small cans, big cans, however that works. But 2 of these. And now I've stirred it all up together. So I'm going to put this on the wraps and wrap them up in a pan. I'm actually going to do a pan of this for dinner tonight. And we're going to have it on paper plates to just save on dishes a little bit. And then I'm going to see how many pans I can get done in the freezer. Okay guys, so this is what our pan of enchiladas looks like for tonight. I've got all kinds of interesting stains. I'm collecting on my shirt now. We also have a whole watermelon I'm going to cut up. So this will be plenty. Of course, you can top your enchiladas with olives or sour cream or more cheese or anything you want. But I think this will be good for us tonight with all the cooking we've got going on here today. And so since these aren't going in the freezer first, I'm going to do these for about 20 to 30 minutes on 350. Whenever we have our frozen baking pans full, we will do those at about 400 for up to an hour. My oven's a little sketchy sometimes, so I have to check things, but that's a general guideline. And now I'm going to get my little freezer cooking station going with these. Okay, so here's one of the baking pans with 10 enchiladas in it. So now I'm going to top it with about a cup of cheese and another half of can of the enchilada sauce. Put some foil on it, label it, and then that'll be our first freezer enchilada meal ready to go. Here's the second pan ready to go into the freezer. Forgot the enchilada sauce, but I just put half a can on there, wrote the directions, and that's going to go in my stack. I was able to get 3 of these done with the chicken enchiladas. The 4th one is dinner tonight. I would have loved to have gotten 5 total. 4 for the freezer and 1 for tonight. Okay guys, so instead of talking hand, you'll have talking belly tonight. See all my lovely stains? So I want to show you end of the day freezer cooking confessions. Look at this. It just goes on and on. Now the dishwasher's going, but I am totally done for the day. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to go to bed. Actually, I'm going to have some blueberry bread and a glass of milk, and then I'm going to go to bed. So these are just a lot of our big pots and pans. Like I did my rice in that pot. I did my beans in that pot. Use the Instapot all day, you know, to do almost 30 pounds of chicken. Different baking dishes and such. So yeah, there it is. And that's pretty much how it's going to stay. We are packing up shop for today. Look, yeah, reflection. What we did get done today, so we got a lot of these items prepped, and my tone has changed. We got done, let's see, 3 loaves of blueberry bread, 3 loaves of banana bread, 4 pans of chicken enchiladas, the 4 meatloaves, about 30 breakfast burritos, 50 peanut butter and jellies for the freezer, and 50 grilled cheese for the freezer. Yeah, and so there's still a lot more meals I want to make, but again, I'm calling it quits. We'll start again tomorrow, but tomorrow we'll have so much of this prep work done that, you know, hopefully it doesn't take another full day. Hopefully in about 4 hours or so, I can get the rest of the meals put back together. So these things are just staying out for tonight. I do still have 2 more loaves in the bread machines, but we'll pull those like right before bed. And this counter is now clear. And so, yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys in the morning. So good morning, guys. We've had a whole watermelon for breakfast. And here's what remains of the watermelon. I'm heating up this blueberry bread I made yesterday. We're going to have that with butter, plus the watermelon for the rest of breakfast this morning. For our day 2 of large family style freezer cooking, this is my cut down list for today. This is my big overview. But this is what I need to get done today, and I'm hoping to get this finished up in about 4 hours or so. The reason being, all of the meat is now done. I did several loaves. Well, here, I'll read the list like you can't read, right? I'm going to do at least 2 pans of taco meat, chicken broccoli rice casserole, hoping for 4 of those, 4 tuna noodles, 4 baked Zitis, 4 lasagnas. I'd like to get at least 5 more loaves of blueberry bread, and then also applesauce bread. Same recipe, I just use applesauce instead of blueberries. I'd like to get at least 30 more egg and cheese burritos done, 50 more peanut butter and jellies, and French toast. And then any extra meat I'm going to freeze. This is my noodle pile for everything that's going down today. Again, the meat's done, so that's super helpful. I've gotten some questions on Instagram and Facebook, just more about the logistics of this. Hopefully some of that has come through in the videos. Just the general feel and consensus with the questions is, my goodness, how am I getting this all done? I've had moms ask me about, you know, managing younger children and all of that. So overall, you know, this is a big family effort. And then yesterday, I had to look at my list here. Yesterday I got 25 pounds of ground beef cooked, 25 pounds of chicken cooked. 10 pounds of brown rice, 5 pounds of pinto beans, 4 pans of freezer chicken enchiladas, 4 freezer for the slow cooker meatloaves, 3 loaves of banana bread, 3 loaves of blueberry bread. But it's because I had so much help and support in all the little things and medium things and some big things too that allowed me to be able to get all that done. Lots of lists for today. So again, it's about 11:40 now. I'm hoping to bust through this in the next couple hours. Also, I wanted to give you guys a little method in my madness here in reference to organizing something like this. I am obviously a list maker, and so I just write myself a little timeline because I need to get bread going next, because the bread takes an hour in the oven each time. I can do several loaves at a time though. So I'm going to get blueberry bread going in the oven. Then I'm going to focus on the chicken, broccoli, and rice casserole. Now I need to make homemade cream of chicken soup. And then also for later, I need to do a cream sauce for the tuna casserole. Now, always tons of grace. Just buy cream of chicken soup in a can if that's all you can do. Used canned cream of mushroom soup for your tuna casserole. I don't care. It's all fine. I'm going to sit on my stool on the stove, and at the same time I'm going to do my cream of chicken, and I'm going to do my sauce for the tuna casserole, which is pretty much the same thing, only when I add the meat, I'm adding the tuna instead of chicken. Okay, so I'm going to do both of those sauces at one time, and then I'm going to put together my chicken, broccoli, and rice casseroles. Then I'm going to focus on my taco meat pans. By then, it'll be time for more bread. Then I'm going to work on doing my noodles. I have a lot of noodles I'm doing. I need to make sure I'm not distracted and doing my standard 10 other things because, you know, I don't want mushy noodles. Then I'm going to put together, and with my noodles, I want to make sure I'm available to run cold water on them when they're done. Then I'm going to put together my tuna noodle casseroles, my lasagnas, and my zitis. This should be very simple, like, you know, you're doing a Lego project or a puzzle real quick by this point. I'm going to get some more bread in the oven, and then during this time, it'll be a cleanup time, and I'll work on bagging any extra meat. So this is a little method to my madness on how we're going to accomplish this, and that's how we're going to tackle this today. Here we go. Good job. We're ready to see how many pans we get out of it. So my blueberry bread recipe, it makes 9 by 13 pan and an 8 by 11 pan and an 8 by 8 pan. Actually, these are just a little fuller. I probably could have also gotten my 5 by 9 pan in there, but yeah, I just don't feel like fooling with it. That's okay. So we're going to do these 3 of blueberry bread. And for these larger ones, like for this size pan, I will cut this in half and freeze both halves separately. As I may have shared in this video, for this morning for breakfast, we had a blueberry bread about this size, and then we had a full watermelon with it. So we don't ever just have these sweetbreads. We usually have some kind of fruit or a yogurt or even cheese or some other protein with it. Here's a little freezer cooking confession for you. I've shared this in other videos before. When I put my mixtures in my bread machines, I have to give them a good stir, or the dough, or the flour, collects along the outsides. These 2 loaves could have been salvaged. I could have just cut the outside off and probably saved about half the loaf on both of them. I didn't realize I did this though until I was cleaning up to go to bed last night, and I just didn't care. So I left them in there. You know, I unplugged the machines, but I didn't fool with the loaves till this morning, and I'm just throwing them away, and that's that. But that's just a lesson I've learned, and I try to remember, and obviously still I sometimes forget. So yesterday I had a bunch of chicken broth left after doing all that chicken in the Instant Pot. And so last night I froze it. I just put it in one of these disposable pans so it wouldn't stick to the freezing racks and such. I have 2 containers of chicken broth, but I feel like I'm going to need more than these 2 between doing the 4 to 5 baking pans of chicken broccoli rice, doing 4 to 5 pans or so of tuna noodle. So I just brought a bunch of stuff out here to the freezer. I thought I'd show you guys where things are going. Here's all the French toast Naomi did. I kept 1 bag out. These are 2 loaves of banana bread from last evening. Here is all the freezer grilled cheese and, you know, all kinds of cool faces on there too. Got the little Pop-Tart cat. Then here's the 3 pans of enchiladas. Now, they were squishy, you know, with the pans sitting on top of each other. So for last night, I separated them kind of like this. And now today, they're rock solid. So now I can stack them on top of each other. These are the breakfast burritos got done yesterday. And then here is, now we officially have 100 PB, 100 peanut butter and jellies, which is where I like to have it. And people ask me about peanut butter and jellies all the time. I've written articles about this. I've done videos on it. We can discuss it in the comments. But anyway, it is so convenient. You may think it's not convenient, but if you have a whole lot of youngins, if you can put 10 or 12 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, just take them out of the freezer, put them in the refrigerator, and then the next day you have them. It's great for field trips, for co-op day, for all the things that happen. It's done. So, and it's something, this is a job kids can help with easily. At a young age, from I think 8 years old and up, they can probably make a pretty good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So, updating you guys, here's one of my loaves of blueberry bread. There's some more I'm getting ready to put in the freezer. I just had well over an hour nap. I just laid down on the futon. I was hoping to do 15 minutes, did an hour, but I feel so much better now. And so now I'm ready to do my last push. It is almost 5. So, of course, you know, my plan goes a wiggly waggly, but as of right now, we have all the breakfast burritos done, the French toast has been done, you know, the sandwich little fill-in things have been done, this bread is done. What else did I get done? I know I've done other things. I've got my first stack of noodles done. I have more water on the stove. I took, you know, some time and did a big load of dishes, so I will definitely have someone else get the other load a little later. And I think besides my nap, that's all I've gotten done. So I still have all these meals to put together. And you know, of course, my glorious plan was I'll be done by 2. But that's okay. We're going to keep going, getting lots of pieces of the puzzle done. I'm going to look at my list here and see. Okay. Yeah. So still moving forward. Going to get these breads in the freezer. Oh, I need to sit now and make my cream sauces. So I need to get noodles, some more noodles going on the stove. While those are going, I need to do my homemade cream of chicken, homemade. I'll call it cream of tuna, but it's going to be a combination of the chicken broth and tuna to make that. And what else? I need to get some more breads going, noodles done, and then I just know when I go to put these big meals together, having everything done, it'll come together. Okay guys, I am here whisking up a big batch of homemade cream of chicken. Now you're probably going to hear all kinds of kid noises in the background, but I've got to sit here and babysit this cream of chicken for about 3 to 5 minutes. I do have a recipe for this, again, over on the blog, and I have a video when I did that, when I did chicken pot pie for the slow cooker, I did homemade cream of chicken with that. It's just a good thing to know how to do because I don't always have the cream of soups and all of that. So this was 2.5 cups of butter. I melted it and whisked it some. Then I added in 9 cups of chicken broth and we got that heating up, and then I added in 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And again, now I just have to do the whisking job. So now you all see it's thickening up nicely, and my lasagna noodles are going. I need to put my last couple boxes of ziti in, and we will go from there. Of course, you know how I do things now. It's growing. I was worried that it still would not be enough for all the chicken broccoli rice casseroles I want to make. So I added some milk to it, and I'm stretching it a little farther to see how much I can really get out of it now. So yes, of course, in true J. Morrell eyeballing school style, I have the cream of chicken now to the top of the pot. I added a total of 4 cups of milk, and then that is shredded chicken. I am still going around, even with the shredded chicken, gently with my whisk. It tastes really good. I've added several, like, center of my handfuls of salt as I've been stirring. But there we go. So I'm just going to do this gently for about another minute, and then I will turn the heat off and move it, and I need to go drain my lasagna noodles, and then I'll run cold water on those. So with the tuna casseroles, I have 80 ounces of tuna here. In theory, if I was just doing one, I would use about 20 ounces of tuna, which is 4 of these 5-ounce cans. Now what I'm doing, getting a little tricky here, is the liquid from the tuna cans I'm going to collect here in my measuring cups, and I'm going to use that instead of chicken broth, and then whatever the difference is, I'll fill in with chicken broth. But I just wanted to go ahead and use this. It's going to be tuna flavored anyway. I'm going to have tuna meat in the casseroles, so I might as well use the tuna liquid to actually make the broth that's going in them instead of just cream of chicken. Okay, so from all of those cans of tuna, I got, let's see here, about 2.5 cups. So then I'm going to fill in the difference with chicken broth. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. And I'm making another big volume batch like I did with the exclusive cream of chicken. Okay, I haven't added the flour yet, but I just added in another 7 cups of chicken broth. So that's about 9.5 to 10 cups total of broth between the tuna liquid and the broth. That broth was from the chicken I made yesterday. Here is the sauce for the tuna noodle casserole. Of course, I filled it right to the brim. And again, at the end, I did add in up to 4 cups of water. So it makes it a little thinner, but I want it a little thinner because I'm going to stretch it a little farther. I'm not going to add any more flour to it because it will thicken up a little more as it sits also. And I added in just 1 can of the tuna. And it tastes good. It has a good flavor to it. It'll make excellent for tuna noodle casserole. So guys, what I'm doing is I have a lot of my big bowls in use. A lot of our big bowls in use. So I'm using my ginormous pot here with my ginormous belly. I'm going to use this. Mix the chicken broccoli rice casserole together, and then I'll disperse it as far as I can get it in these pans. I have 5, I'm hopeful. I definitely think I should get 3. So let's see how far we can take this. So I was laughing. I've been mixing this with my hands because there's just, I mean, this thing is massive. There's no mixing this pretty with a spoon. And I just added some more broccoli and the rest of the cream of chicken and some more chicken. I might put some more rice in there. Anyway, I just thought, this makes me look like, you know, Queen of the Hot Mess Club, because you just, you know, look around at the mess. It's just fun. I got noodles sitting over there for the next dishes. And so, yeah, that's what's happening around the kitchen right now. Isn't this fantastic? So I'm going to try to set my camera up so y'all can watch me mix this. It just makes me laugh because I think it's, you know, real life comedy. It's pretty funny. Okay guys, so we have 5 of these big pans of chicken, broccoli, and rice casserole. I used mozzarella this go round because that's what I had on hand. And I'm getting ready to do a bazillion easy lasagna. So here we go. Okay guys, so here are all 5 broccoli, chicken, and rice bakes. I just labeled them very simple. Chicken, brock, rice, bake. Bake at 400 up to 1 hour. Anyone should be able to handle that. So there we go. Guys, so I wanted to show you how the tuna noodle is coming. What I have is I have my whole pot of the tuna cream sauce. I have the rest of my cans of tuna. I believe it equaled about 80 ounces. And then I have 5 cans of sliced carrots and 5 cans of peas. Peas and carrots is fairly standard in tuna noodle casserole. Now I'm going to add my noodles, mix it up, get it in the dishes, and then we'll top it with some cheese. Okay, so with the tuna noodle casserole, I was able to get 4 large pans. This is what it looks like before I add the cheese on top, and I'm just doing a handful of cheese on top of each one. Now, the night we actually have this for dinner, I'll probably put some more cheese on it, but just wanted to give you a peek at what it's looking like before I put the lids on it. So what we have going on with the lasagna is this is a little over 200 ounces of just the tomato sauce. I added 4 ounces of garlic powder and about 4 ounces of ground oregano. I've also put in about 5 pounds of ground beef. And then for the cheese mixture right here, this is 4 32-ounce containers of ricotta. It's a dozen eggs, and it's only 2 cups of mozzarella because I want to make sure I have enough to pull this off. So I'm skimping on it a little bit, but I have enough to layer. So I also just finished up doing 4 big pans of baked ziti. all I did was I combined the spaghetti and meat sauce mixture I had for the lasagnas and what I had left in the ricotta, plus about 2 cups of mozzarella I had left, and the Ziti noodles. I combined it in my great big stock pot. Then I mixed it all together. I filled these pans, and then I topped each pan with 1 cup. This is just a cheese blend, Colby and Monterey Jack, because I had some of those on hand also. So each of them topped with 1 cup. Now I'm going to cover them, and we'll get these in the freezer. So I am back with another 2 days of large family style freezer cooking. I'm going to just go ahead and jump into sharing my whiteboard with you, letting you know what I've been slowly working on today, what my plan is for tomorrow, and how we're going to pull this off and make it happen. So, to the whiteboard, right? All right, so this is my master plan. Okay, so I have it divided into phase 1, phase 2, or we could say day 1, day 2. So for today, my goal is to bulk cook, so to get all the chicken and the hamburger cooked. I have about 25 pounds of each. We also have a ham, and we have 4 kielbasas. I want to get all of those chopped into small little bites. I want to get all the rice cooked, which I've already done that. I want to get the noodles cooked, and I want to get, hopefully, we'll see how this goes, at least 10 loaves of banana bread and 10 loaves of blueberry bread. And if I only got half and half done, I'll just scooch the rest onto the next day. Then tomorrow is when a whole lot of assembly goes down. Also, and I'll go back over those in a minute, also I have a list of things that the kids, so they're going to scramble eggs. They're going to do at least 140 hopefully peanut butter and jellies for the freezer, 140 cheese sandwiches for the freezer. We use those to make grilled cheese for lunches, 7 loaves of French toast, a whole lot of pancakes, and they're going to help me assemble egg, ham, and cheese breakfast burritos. So the meals that I'm doing, then I have a little reminder, you know, we're going to freeze any extra hamburger and chicken. The meals that we're doing this go round is we're going to do stuffed shells bake. We're going to do chicken fried rice. We're going to do baked mac and cheese. And I'm thinking I'd like to either add some kind of protein, either beef, ham, or kielbasa. I'll see when I get to it which one I have the most of. And then we're going to do a cheesy kielbasa noodle bake. I'm going to do slow cooker chicken and dumplings. I'm going to do taco casserole, ham, cheese, and potato bake. I'm going to do tater tot casseroles. I'm thinking I'm going to also get in some easy baked stroganoff, 4 or so of an egg, ham, and cheese breakfast casserole. And so this gives us well over 40 dinner meals with my freezer cooking. I have many freezer meals still left from our last freezer cooking days that I did about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. So next I'm going to take you out to my freezer and just kind of show you what I'm starting with. We probably have, I'm going to say offhand, we have at least 10 of the 9x13 pans. I think I have 3 or 4 slow cooker meatloafs. The things we're out of are a lot of the fill-in things like the peanut butter and jellies and the grilled cheese and the fruit breads. I think we have 1 pack of French toast left. I think we're out of the egg and cheese burritos. So we have a baby coming in, as of this filming, 4 to 5 more weeks. So just trying to get ahead of things. The grocery haul that I just did and this freezer cooking time, plus with the meals I have, I'm thinking in my head that should be a good 6 weeks or so. Obviously, we're going to add in some other meals within that. There's going to be times when we're not home, we eat dinner out. There's going to be times where I just feel like making something different. We might get down to where we do like a week or so pantry challenge. I'm planning that this will be my last big freezer cooking time before we have the baby, but I might be able to get another one in. So yeah, that's the plan, man. Okay, so here's how my new full-size freezer is looking right now. These items, the mixed veggies and the blueberries, we're going to take back in for cooking I'm doing today. We have, nothing left on several shelves. All of the freezer PB&Js, which ended up being about 10 or so lunches really for the month, are gone. We do have a few of these freezer grilled cheeses left. A few of you have asked me how to do these. I just hook up the griddle and put the frozen grilled cheese right on it and flip it, and voila, we have grilled cheese. We also have 2 packs, it looks like, of French toast left, so that gives us a base. Here in the door, now several of these, like potatoes and tater tots, I'm using in some meals this month. Got a pack of popsicles left, some hot dog buns, some rice, and some little veggie packs too. Now up here, this is everything that's left from my freezer cooking time last month. 15 meals left. So I've got 11 of my big pans of meals, and then I have 3 freezer meatloafs, and then I have a pot pie casserole that's still left. So that's 15, and then I'm gonna get this puppy filled up again and have some peace of mind. Yeehaw! One thing I've gotten done already is I got 4 boxes of my jumbo shells cooked for the stuffed shells I'm going to make. I also just finished with about 6 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. One of the meals I'm going to get done today is, because we need dinner anyway, and it sounds good to my pregnant belly, is I'm gonna go ahead and get all the chicken fried rice done. And we'll have that for dinner, and then I'll get those freezer meals done and out in the freezer. I'm also in the middle of juggling that. I'm going to work on getting the banana bread going first and keep my little bread assembly line going. It's 5:35, so don't think I'm doing this at 5:35 in the morning. I probably started today about 2, but it has been very slow and steady. I did get all the rice done. I'm just kind of picking away at it. Like I said, my goals are if I can get the meat done, if I can get, the rice is already done, get the rest of the noodles done, get this bread going, then tomorrow will be big meal assembly time. I'm going to show you how the chicken stir fry is going, because again, it's what my baby wanted for dinner tonight, and so I'm going to try to make several pans of it too. So this is some chicken that I cooked up separate so I could do it in soy sauce. There's a whole onion in there. This is one of the large bags of mixed vegetables, also with some soy sauce. And then I'm scrambling some eggs right now. I put all the brown rice that I've pre-cooked today, I have in my large, wonderful, beautiful, intelligent, smart, all the lovely things I can say about my large stock pot. So my plan is I'm going to dump the other ingredients in here and mix it all up. I will put it in 9x13 baking pans for the freezer, and my goal of course is to have a big bowl of it for tonight as well. Okay, so stirring this will be a beast, but I have my huge pot now loaded. I've added the 5 pounds of chicken that I cooked in soy sauce, 18 scrambled eggs, and that huge pack of mixed vegetables that I cooked in soy sauce, and then I added in a little bit of sesame seed oil as well. So now I'm going to work on mixing this whole thing together. Here's a peek at how the fried rice looks when it is all stirred up. I did end up taking about half of it out after mixing for a few minutes. Then I made sure the bottom layer was mixed, and I've mixed it all together. So lots of mixing for the arm muscles, but now I'm going to take out enough for dinner tonight and then see how many more pans I can fill. Here is 3 large pans of the chicken fried rice. I have saved the equivalent. I scooped out the equivalent. It's my large Tupperware container. I scooped out enough for us to have it for dinner tonight and tomorrow night, so that would equal about 5 pans worth. But I know tomorrow I don't want to stop to make dinner, so at least we got 3 more for the freezer out of it, and the rest for dinner for 2 nights. Hey guys, so I am on day 2 of mega freezer cooking. I was going to update you on what I got done yesterday. It wasn't quite as much as I would have liked to have gotten done. I worked pretty steady from about 5 p.m. until midnight. That's just how it worked out in my world. I have been also working on mashing up all our bananas. We have about 15 cups of bananas in here, so I have tripled my standard recipe, and what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna mix it all in my massive stock pot. But I'm going to do what I can with the hand mixer in this bowl, which is the largest mixing bowl that I have. Now it's been a little bit because I had to sit and drink a cup of coffee. Hadn't had any coffee yet today. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon. I had to drink a cup of coffee, get off my feet for about 30 minutes or so. So here we go. Now I'm going to get it into several pans in the oven. Got 5 pans going in now. 2 of these are 9 by 13 pans. This is an 8 by 11. This is an 8 by 8. So I'm going to get all these in the oven now, and I have enough, I believe, to get about 5 more pans after this load. Okay, so here's how things are looking with the kielbasa and cheesy broccoli bake I have made. And then I have another 9 by 13 pan, so I've made 6 total. That's currently in the oven because we have a guest for dinner. So we're going to have our little bit of stir fry that's left over from last night, and then we're going to have one of these pans as well, and just as 2 separate dishes, but it'll go together lovely like a buffet. So I'm going to wrap these up now and get these labeled and in the freezer for weeks to come. So this is how the kielbasa and cheesy broccoli bake turned out. I did it in my oven, and of course this wasn't already pre-frozen. I did it covered with foil at 350 for about 45 minutes, and then I took the foil off the last 10 to 15 minutes, and it's perfect now. I had 1 bite. I'm waiting for the second bite to cool, and we're going to add this into our dinner buffet. And then here's how the banana bread is working out. I ended up having 9 loaves that I'm going to put in the freezer now, and then we'll add more later. So this is how the first pan is looking. It's got a layer of sauce underneath. It has all these stuffed shells here. I did a loose cup of shredded mozzarella on top. Now I'm going to cover it with sauce and more cheese and then wrap it, and then we'll just see how many pans of these we can make. So giving you guys an update, it is now day 3. So yesterday, what happened? I ended up taking a really long, like 3 or so hour nap in the late afternoon, early evening. So of course that took time. I had to come out to the garage anyway, so I thought I'd give you guys an update. It's not super organized yet, but here is all the frozen grilled cheese we got done. And again, I just know I'll be asked again, so let me tell you real quick. It's just 2 slices of bread, 2 pieces of cheese, frozen, not grilled, and then we throw it on the griddle when we need it. Fantastic in a pinch. Down here is our bazillion peanut butter and jellies. Those are our stuffed shells. Now those, they're a little soft. Anything that's, goopy or cheesy, not very firm, I have set them out individually so they could get hard. But now today I can stack them. So this is a collection of pre-cooked items I've done over the last few days that we're going to use now. And then I still got a little bit of this fantastic chicken fried rice. I'm going to shove this in my face while I work on making other meals. Okay, so giving you guys a peek at what I'm working with now. I cooked my ground beef. I pre-cooked it 2 days ago, if you guys remember. And so, it just gets hard when it's sitting in the bag. So there's the ground beef. I went ahead and put in here 4 cans of diced tomatoes, 4 cans of black beans. I only had the equivalent of what I would call a standard can of corn. I would put in 4 cans of corn though if I had it, but I don't, so that's that. I'm going to add in my garlic powder, my onion powder, cumin, and also chili powder to make a quick homemade taco seasoning flavor. And we're just going to get all this mixed up. Oh, I also added in a whole onion. So, could have done this on my prep day. It's okay though. I'm just warming it up, stirring it up, and then we're going to do our layers. And then, so I've got the ground beef and the veggies and the rice all mixed up. I just added in 4 cups of shredded cheese that I'm going to mix in, and then we'll start putting our pans together. I'm taking over, and so I'm going to jump in and get some more going. And then I'm going to get back over there and work on assembling those taco casseroles. And I may hand this job off, so we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to show you what this looks like real quick. Okay, so there you go. The dueling griddles are going. Obviously, the new one heats up a lot quicker and, you know, cooks things faster. This one we've had, I don't know, maybe I bought it 2 years ago. Maybe it's been 3 years ago now. I shared it on Instagram a bazillion years ago. So I'm going to go over here and I was working on putting these taco casseroles together. I'm going to do the first one, and then I'll show you how I assemble them. That's what our first taco casserole looks like all done. What I'm going to do now is we actually need something for dinner tonight anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in our oven. So it doesn't need to be defrosted or anything. I'm going to do it for about 30 to 45 minutes on 350. So these I let sit too long, so these probably need to come off first. See, this is me trying to cook too many things at one time. We'll get back to those casseroles though in a minute. I just have them on there to cool for a few minutes. Come on, buddy, be my friend. Get on my spatula. Go. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Hop on. It's fun. It's fun to ride on the spatula French toast pieces. Now, come on, I'm going to just use my fingers. Okay. There we go. We will just not play with the spatula. Obviously, be careful if you grab your hot food. I am not using proper utensils. Do not try this at home. This is desperate mama trying to get this freezer cooking done. Those actually are a little too hot for me. Okay, so the way I like to do these is to take taco shells, crunch them up. You do a layer of taco shells and then your other layers. However, this is the only box of taco shells that I have, but have no fear. I can still make this, and it's still going to be fantastic. There's another one completed. We got another one in the oven. So let me show you what I'm using. So, of course, I emergency messaged her and asked her, I said, I'm out of chips. Do you think I could use tortillas in my taco casserole? And she said, oh, yeah, I do it all the time. So that's what I'm doing. And what I've done is I've just sliced them in half, and then it's not going to be, you know, a total covering, but it's good enough. Just enough to get a base there. Next, I do now this is my ground beef and cheese and beans and corn and diced tomatoes and rice and seasoning. Now, I know I did my little variation of homemade taco seasoning. If you're a mama in a pinch or you just don't care to do that, whatever, you just use regular taco seasoning packets from the store. It's totally fine. Whatever, you know our motto around here, you do you. You do whatever works for you. So, I'm spreading this out. Okay, now, next, what I do, it ends up being about a cup of sour cream. You know, I do eyeballing school around here, but I like to do little dollops, little drops of sour cream all around, and then spread it out. Yay, yay. Okay, so there's our sour cream layer. And now, this is another thing I do. I'm going to tell you cups. I've measured it and checked it. One of my handfuls of cheese or anything equals a cup. So, there's 1 cup of cheese, 2 cups of cheese. Voila. Now, also with these taco casserole bakes, you can do a lot of variations. I mean, if your family loved black olives, you could do a layer of black olives, a layer of jalapenos, so many fun things you can do. And if I was using taco shells, I would do another crunched up layer here. But again, we make the best with what we have. So now I'm going to do some tortillas placed around. Okay, and then here, I like to get in one more thin layer of our mixture here. I hear my ice maker going. Okay. I may have to get one more little scoop out. But I want to leave enough room because I'm going to do one more layer of the sour cream and the cheese. And then on baking day, when we take these out of the freezer, and then I can either put them in frozen, of course the cooking time is going to be adjusted because that'll be longer, or we can set them out in the refrigerator the night before and they'll be defrosted by the time they need to be put in for dinner the next afternoon. So what I'll do is whenever these need to be put in before dinner, or one of the kids can, I will need to pick up more taco shells. Or this is also a great way, if you find like stale boxes of taco shells on sale, sometimes you can find, especially at like discount grocery stores like Sharp Shopper, or you can find bags of tortilla chips that need used up. So I just crunch up a layer on top and then shove them in the oven. With my bake that I'm doing now, I didn't get to it in time because French toast drama, all of that. So about 15 minutes before it's done, I'm going to crunch up my taco shells over there. So let's get another layer of sour cream. And this recipe is fun because just depending on, you know, how you feel for the day, if I was doing this one night, I could serve it with shredded lettuce and tomatoes and other toppings similar to tacos. Also, you could do more full chips, lots of ways you can do it to just really stretch this recipe out further. And this goes great with lots of good fresh veggies. I know when I'm filming this, we're in the gardening time of year and lots of you have your gardens going. So again, lots of ways you can make this work and make this a nice full meal for your family. So that layer of sour cream is a little thinner. And then we'll do our 2 cups of cheese here. There's another one. And 2. Okay, and I'm actually going to do 3 because I feel like the top needs a little bit more. And I'm going to push this out of the way and see how many we can stretch our meat mixture to do. This is what our taco casseroles look like done. Now I just realized, oh, and let me show you, I've got just a little bit of the meat and rice mixture left. I'm going to put that in a baggie and just label it. I can use that later when I do, like if I do taco meat in the slow cooker, or if I do a big pot of chili, I'll just add that in because it's already perfect to go along. But anyway, I still have the stroganoff to do, and I have tater tot casserole, and then I have another recipe I can't think of right now. All need sour cream, and I used a ton of sour cream on these. I'm totally out. So I will have to get sour cream tonight. We're gonna have to finish those couple recipes up tomorrow. I think I might be able to pull off getting one more super easy chicken recipe done before I have to run out the door. So I'm gonna get these wrapped up and work on, here's a of the kitchen, some kitchen messes going on. Work on getting some of this cleaned up. See if I can get my one more thing done. May not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes here. Here is my bag of just the leftover meat and rice because I'm not going to do any more of these today. So I just put a little note to myself, add to taco meat or chili and the date. And here in the next month or 2, I'm sure I will set this out and add it to something. And so here is what one of the taco bakes looked like. I did about 5 crushed tacos on the top and 1 more handful of cheese. Lots of cheese in this one. And here is a picture of it in action. I'm going to cool some plates off for a quick running out the door dinner. Friends, so we're back to day 4 of me getting a bunch of freezer meals done. If you remember yesterday, I got 5 of those taco casserole bakes done. We had one for dinner. Those are really, really good. What's been happening so far today, working on the blueberry bread. There's 3 loaves in, 2, I'll show you, 2 of these 9 by 13 pans ready to go. I have brown rice I just did in the Instant Pot. I needed this for the stroganoff I'm gonna do. And there is the brown rice. Anyway, so that's one kitchen scene going down right now. And then this is a lot of the items I need for several different meals that I'm going to jump into doing. Still have some pre-cooked ground beef in the refrigerator, and then that rice over there. But this is the crux of it. So from what we've done over the last few days, I've got these big bags of chicken. I think I have another big bag. Oh, yep, there it is. So I just set this all out before I start my mega meal assembly. This is the cheese I have left, those pre-cooked noodles, sour cream. I got some mixed vegetables. So I'll get organized and put these with my broccoli. This is what I'm gonna work with now besides my ground beef and rice, and we're gonna go from there. I've got, oh, that's what, let me show you the meals I'm gonna do. And this blueberry bread is beeping. Here is the inside of the tater tot chicken casserole that I'm working on. You can certainly do this the variation where you use several pounds of ground beef and you use cream of mushroom soup. I am doing it with chicken because I have more chicken left, and the little bit of ground beef I do have left I need for the stroganoff. So what I've done is I've used 3 26-ounce cans of cream of chicken soup. Again, you can certainly make it homemade. If you need total grace, buy the cream of chicken in a can. I used 4 cups of sour cream, 4 cups of shredded cheese, and then a big 5-pound bag of mixed veggies. And really, to mix this up well, I had to use my hands, but they have since been rinsed off. So now we're going to fill our casserole dishes, then layer the top with tater tots, and then some more shredded cheese, and it'll be done. 2 of them done here, and I'm going to show you guys the super easy assembly process for this third one. Obviously, the first thing I'm going to do is go to my big pot of mix. Now, this recipe, I feel like, if you're on a really tight budget and you need to stretch this more, you can add in pre-cooked rice or even some pre-cooked noodles. You could stretch it a couple different ways. I have used the chicken, the cream of chicken, the sour cream, and the veggies. But if you would like to stretch it a little further than the 4 pans I'm doing, I think that rice would go in your main mix that you put down first, and no one would really know. I just always think of ways that moms can stretch their meals a little further if they need to. Okay, there you go. So this is what the mix looks like in the pan. Now it's as simple as getting the bag of taters and lining the top. I'm going to set my camera down now and pour some on here, and then I'll show you guys in a second. Okay, that was a little quicker for me. And then I spread them out so they're not stacked on top of each other, because you want these to be nice and crispy whenever you cook it. And the nice thing is, since I'm doing about 5 more meals today, we'll just see whichever one looks most appealing for dinner tonight, and that is what we will put in the oven. Okay. No, J. Morrell math is 2 of my handfuls. There we go. So that's the assembly process for this chicken tater tot casserole. And again, you can switch it out and use ground beef, but we're working with what we have here. But here is what the 4 chicken tater tot casseroles look like, completely done. So now I'm going to wrap them, and we'll get these in the freezer. So now what's going down is my chicken broccoli Alfredo noodle bake. I have 5 pounds of shredded chicken, so this is going to be massive. Of course, these graham crackers here have nothing to do with anything other than I just ate a whole bunch of them with peanut butter. Yay! I'm going to use 4 cans of cream of mushroom soup, about 6 cups of sour cream and cheese and broccoli and these noodles. So let's put it all together. Okay, so I just poured in the 4 cans of cream of mushroom. Now I'm going to do the cups of sour cream. So here's a peek at what it looks like with the sour cream in there. And there we are with 5 cups of shredded cheese. Okay, so here's what the pot looks like so far. I just poured in the 5 pounds of frozen broccoli. This is what my massive pot looks like. The 5 pounds of chicken is at the bottom, so I'm just going to have to use my hands again to stir this. And then I'm going to use the smaller container to bring in some of the mixture, and then the noodles, and actually, mix up the casserole filling and do it between 2. If you're a mama and you cook a whole lot, it doesn't always fit into one pot, so I have to use several sometimes. Here is how the chicken broccoli Alfredo bakes have turned out. I was actually able to get 7 casserole pans full. Now all of these are 9 by 13, except this one is a 9 by, I think it's like 11 3/4, but it's a deeper dish. So I'm gonna say for that little speck of a measurement, the volume is the same. So now I'm going to cover all of these in cheese, and I'll give you the final peek. Go topped with cheese. I just remembered I do have probably about, I don't know, maybe a pound of shredded mozzarella left. That would have been perfect on top of this too, but cheese is cheese, and this blend will be excellent. I'm going to shake some Parmesan cheese on top of each one and then foil them. And yes, my voice is getting tired, but we're almost done. Hey guys, so here's the update. My stomach was hurting and I just had to lay down, you know, muscle aches and pains. So I laid down for a little bit. I've got some bacon in the oven right now for an egg and cheese and bacon bake that I'm gonna do. We're gonna have dinner first. Just got done doing is my easy beef stroganoff. This was just 12 cups of pre-cooked brown rice, about 2.5 pounds of beef because I'm running low on that at this point, 4 cans of cream of mushroom soup, about 6 cups of sour cream, mixed it all together by hand in my messy pot, spread it out in my dishes, and then I put about 2 cups of mozzarella on top of each one because this last little bit of shredded cheese I have to use for my egg and bacon bakes that I'm going to do here last. So, and what we're doing for dinner tonight, again, since Mama can't move, is I did one of these tater tot casseroles and I did one of the chicken broccoli alfredos. We won't necessarily eat both, but today is Saturday when I'm filming this. Tomorrow's Sunday, and I figured whatever leftovers we could have for lunch tomorrow. We're also having bowls of applesauce with this dinner tonight. Good morning, guys. I am in full pregnant country woman nightgown mode here, so I'm not showing you myself, but I will show you breakfast. So here's how breakfast is looking. Oh my, those are almost done. I'm going to do these for the freezer now that I have everything out, and then I'm officially done with my current several day freezer cooking stock up. But what these are is it's eggs, sour cream, shredded cheese, and then it's topped with tater tots, bacon, and more cheese. So just ridiculous. We won't eat both of these for breakfast, but I'm making one for now and one for later. I'm sure we'll have it as leftovers either for tomorrow's breakfast or at some point here real soon. Hey guys, so what I'm doing, I'm hoping to make 4 9x13 breakfast casseroles. This is 4 dozen eggs. So if you're just doing this recipe for a smaller amount of people, you could just do a dozen eggs. And you'll see some little mess in the bowl already. I use this bowl, I'm just reusing this bowl. I mixed 2 casseroles in it earlier. So to do this large family style, I've got 4 dozen eggs in here. I'm going to put in 4 cups of shredded cheese, 4 cups of sour cream, and we'll go from there. Okay, so our bowl is nearly to the brim, but you know I like to push things. So we've got in our 4 cups of shredded cheese underneath, the 4 cups of sour cream. I added in about 3 cups of milk because I didn't think I could fit any more in, and now I'm going to mix it mostly on low to be able to mix this up. So these are our 4 9x13 pans. They will, of course, you know, the egg mix is going to grow when I cook it to look like our cooked pans I already showed you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap these and I'm going to freeze them. Again, this is our egg, our sour cream, our milk, and our cheese mixture. I'm not freezing it with tater tots on it. What I'm going to do, and you know, hello talking hand, we have a shadow today. The way that we'll handle this is the night before we need these bakes, we will set one, you know, me or someone else in our family will set one out in the refrigerator. And then the morning that we bake it, or even if we're going to have it for dinner, whenever we need it, it'll be defrosted. We will add our tater tots and some extra cheese on then, and then bake it. It may need up to an hour at 350 in our oven, depending on if, you know, it's truly fully defrosted or not. And your oven times, it's just going to vary, but you cook it until it's hot and bubbly. I'm not going to freeze it with the tater tots on it because it's very liquidy. We will just do it that day. So I'm going to give you guys a freezer tour after all these days of freezer cooking. And this is what the freezer looks like. Tons and tons and tons and tons of meals. Tons. Grilled cheese ready to go. Again, not pre-cooked, but ready. Can grab them in a quick hurry. All the peanut butter jellies, breakfast burritos, just many pans of things. And then we even overflowed into our other refrigerator freezer. So we have several pans in here. Lots of bread, just some extra veggies up here. And I have 4 more casserole pans with 4 breakfast bakes in the house freezer.
Thanks again, good friends, for cooking these hundreds and hundreds of large family, massive freezer meals with me before baby, for postpartum time, for emergency time, for anything. Fill your freezers with freezer meals. Click the links in the description below. I have the direct links that take you over to largefamilytable.com that have all of my big batch freezer meal recipes waiting for you. Thanks again so much for doing this freezer cooking time travel with me all the way back to my farmhouse and then my forest house and making these hundreds of freezer meals. I appreciate you, and I'll see you real soon with another brand new video. Bye-bye.